Hi friends, welcome or welcome back to the channel. So glad you guys tuned in today, and I am excited for today's video. So my last video actually was my top 23 books of 2023, and I posted a poll for you guys and like of what video you wanted to see next. And so the one that won was my 24 books I want to read for 2024. So I just love how they came back to back. But yeah, I chose 24 books that are on my TBR for the year, and I will say some of these, I think, yeah, some of these were definitely on my 2023 TBR, but now that like I just feel like I'm gonna stick to it this time. I have a method, so it actually works out. There's 24 books. We have 12 months in the year, so as long as I dedicate at least 2 books a month like from this list, then I will hit the goal at the end of the year. And my goal is to actually read all of these books. There are a lot of series on here because there's definitely a lot of series I want to start. We also have some standalones, but then also I have a list. Where's my phone? I have a list of new releases, so I guess we can talk about those first. Yeah, we can talk about the new releases because I don't physically have those books, of course. There's only like 5. I mean, there's more releases, but like these are like the top ones that I'm like, I cannot wait to read. But I do want to start first by showing I got a book journal, which I bought this a while ago. I just never used it, and so I am like, Jasmine, this year I'm gonna use this book journal. So it just says for the love of books, and it has like different things here, but here's the main thing. This is like, obviously, you know, the review page. So I am planning to use it specifically for these books because it's not like a super thick book. I mean, there are a lot of like pages to do book reviews, but I think I'm just going to try to stick to it for these books here. And then at the end of the year, at the end of 2024, we will reconvene and see if I actually read all of these, because y'all, these are like, they have been on my list for way too long. So without further ado, let's get into the books I want to read for 2024. Okay, so first we're going to go into the books that have not released yet. And if I can find the cover, if the cover has been released, I will make sure to put it here for you guys. Like I said, there's only like 5 books, if there's even 5, that like I'm like, I have to get my hands on like as soon as they come out. So starting off, let me find my list. Okay, starting off is this is the one that comes out the soonest, but it is House of Flame and Shadow, and the cover has been released. So if you guys didn't know, I did start the Crescent City series. I think I read the first one. I think I read the first one like in September or October. I absolutely loved it. And then I finally finished Akitar. So I am getting ready to go in House of Sky and Breath, hopefully this year, if not beginning of 2024. But House of Flame and Shadow does come out January 30th. So I'm just like, I have until January 30th to finish House of Sky and Breath, because I am adamant on starting that book as soon as it comes out, so I don't see any spoilers. Like I want to be caught up, you know. I don't want to be behind the game on this one. But then next we have Ruthless Vows, which this is the second book, or I guess it's the sequel to Divine Rivals. And I read Divine Rivals earlier this year and absolutely loved it, guys. That book was so good. It was actually in my top 23 books for 2023. But I just didn't expect it to be as good as it was. And there's like nothing bad I can say about that book. So I am super excited to start Ruthless Vows. Divine Rivals did end on a cliffhanger. So I'm also like, I need this. It does release December 26th, so the day after Christmas. And I pre-ordered my like 2 editions, like one from Black Whales, which I think is the like UK cover. It has like the actual like cover, like the art, like the people, and then the US version, which is just like the white and blue cover. But yeah, so I am like ready. If they're not here on the 26th, I will be hopefully ordering it on my Kindle so I can start it. But yeah, I hope to start it this year. Well, I hope to start it when it comes out, but if not, it will definitely be on my 2024 list, which is why hence it's on the 24 books I want to read for 2024. We have Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. I don't think there's really much more I can say about that. You guys already know what the series Magnolia Parks does to me, like how I want that series like injected into my veins. Like if there is one series I want injected into my veins, it's that series. Like I understand it's toxic, I understand that nobody wants that life, but y'all, it's something about them that like I'm just like obsessed. Like I am just so obsessed and intrigued. Like I can't say one bad thing about that series either. Like that is seriously one of my all-time favorite series in the world, as I'm sure for so many other people. I don't know what Jessa Hastings put in that, but y'all, that we could talk about that forever. So let's move on. If only I had told her. And this was actually supposed to release this year. I think it was supposed to release in November, or no, October I think. And I had fully planned to like read this, and like, you know, I was like, you know, I'm gonna need a few days to recover, because if you guys know, it's the sequel, or it's like Finney's point of view from If Only He Had Been With Me. Yeah, I think it's If Only He Had Been With Me. And y'all, that book, I read it in 2022, and that book was pain. That was like the first book where I like absolutely sobbed. Like other books I had like cried, but If Only He Had Been With Me, y'all, it's just, I don't know what the author did. It was just like, like the whole time the book was like just like a normal YA book, and then I can't even say it comes out of nowhere though, because like even like the very first chapter tells you that like this tragic event has happened. So it's like you shouldn't be surprised, but then like after reading so much just about like normal teenage life, it just like hits you like a rocket, and next thing you know, you can't breathe because you're trying to catch your breath from sobbing. And that was me. So she did actually end up moving it, I think, till February, because she's like, you know, she has to go to like a special place to like write that. It's a very tough, you know, writing process, I'm pretty sure, especially like seeing how other people reacted to the first book. Like seeing how I reacted to the first book, I can only imagine what they did to her. So hopefully it comes out in February, but I have nothing but high expectations for that book. I am so ready for Finney's point of view, and just to see how that all happens. I have Wild Love by oh my gosh, Elsie Silver. I was like, what I wanted to say, I don't even know what I wanted to say, but I was not Elsie Silver. But yes, this is her new series coming out. So I did finish the Chestnut Spring series this year. So she did announce, once Hopeless came out, she announced she does have a new 2024 series, and it's Small Town, and I'm so excited for it. I love Elsie Silver's writing. I do want to go and read her Gold Rush Ranch series. Me and a friend hopefully started this year, but if I don't do anything else, if I don't read anything else by Elsie Silver this year, I will be reading Wild Love, because I need more. I absolutely 100% need it. Next, I have All My Kisses for You by Monica Murphy. So this is more of the Lancaster Prep series. Guys, y'all already know how I ride for the Lancaster Prep series. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it. Let's just, you know, let's just not even play. I actually just read New Year's Day by her, which is like a little novella, and it's so cute because you get first of all, you get their kids' point of view, but then you also get their point of view, and it's just so freaking cute. You get to see like all the Lancasters' point of view, and they're like adults now, and it's just, and I love that she even included Arch and Daisy, which was just in her newest like Lancaster novel. So y'all, just read it. It's like, I know I say this in every video that I talk about this, but y'all have to read that series. Like, it's just so worth it. Last, for new releases, I have Daydream by Hannah Grace. So this is the third book in the, what is the series called? Maple Hills series. And first we have Icebreaker, and then we have Wildfire. And I honestly don't know which one is my favorite. I feel like Wildfire definitely had more of a plot, but Icebreaker, y'all, Icebreaker just hit. Like, I loved both of them. I gave both of them, I think, 4 stars. So I am super excited to dive into Daydream, and this one is actually Henry's point of view, if I remember correctly. So I am so ready for his point of view. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved Russ's point of view, I love Nate's point of view, but this is the one we've been waiting for. This is who we've been waiting for. So also the cover is just freaking gorgeous. So I'm excited. So now I'm gonna dive into the next 17 books I want to read for 2024, and I actually have the physical books of these. So let's start with series first, because a lot of the books that I just talked about all belong to series. So we'll just continue with the series, and then we will go into the standalones. Binding 13, this is actually the new cover, the US like traditionally published version. And first of all, okay, so I have the indie copy, and then I also have the UK copy, y'all. But this one, I'm definitely gonna use this copy when I read, because it is so freaking floppy. Did this have an impact on why I chose to read it this year? Yes, because I cannot wait just to like hold this floppiness, and just like, it's perfect. Like, they did their thing when they made this book. They made the floppiness perfect. It's still super small font. I mean, it is still thinner than like the other versions, but it is bigger though. It's also bigger, but it's thinner. But yeah, the font is still, everyone talks about the Binding 13 font, and it is indeed small, but people keep saying it's so worth it. So I am super excited to start it. It's part of the Boys of Tommen series. So this is the first one. There's 4 out so far, and I think the other 2 come out in 2024, but I'm hoping to at least just start it, because like I said, I keep hearing so many good things about it, and I'm just ready. Next, and this is one that has been on my list forever. Y'all, I know y'all I probably sound like a broken record, but I think I told y'all this in my 2023 like video, that I like my video that I just uploaded last week. I'm pretty sure I said that I wanted to finish the Crescent City world, and then I'm gonna go into Throne of Glass, because I finally knocked off Akitar. So I am finished with Akitar until the next book comes out. And so I just know the Crescent City and Akitar world somewhat like intertwined somehow. I don't really know, but like people say you want to finish Akitar before you finish Crescent City. But then as far as I know, Throne of Glass has no kind of like connection to either of those series. So I will be starting this year, I promise. And like I said, I'm still going to vlog it for you guys. I am deciding to start with Assassin's Blade. I started Throne of Glass, but I only like I didn't get far into it at all, so I'm not too worried. But yeah, I am deciding to start Assassin's Blade. I know there's so many ways you can read it, but after much research and just so much back and forth, and even talking to friends that have read the series, I've decided to just go ahead and start with Assassin's Blade. It's just a bunch of short stories. So yeah, hopefully I start that in January, not January, but February, as soon as I finish House of Flame and Shadow. I'm gonna start the Shadowhunter series, or the Mortal Instruments. What's the Shadowhunters? Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna start the Mortal Instruments like part of that entire world, because as you guys know, there's a lot of books. I think there's just 6 books in the Mortal Instruments alone. But then you also have, like, let's see, you have, I know you have the Infernal Devices, you have the Clockwork Angels or something, the Internal Devices, the Dark Artifices, and the, I think there's one other one. But yes, this is book 1, so it's City of Bones. And yeah, I'm gonna start this month, not this month, this year, hopefully. Well, we're not gonna say hopefully, I am gonna start it this year. I am definitely gonna start these books this year. So I'm super excited to dive into that world. I know Rachel Catherine, she loves that world. And like I said, one of my friends, the one that I told I would read this, she like loves this world just as much. She's like, you have to read this. She wanted me to read it this year. But y'all know, being a mood reader, you just gotta trust that I'm gonna read it when I say I'm gonna read it. Like, I may not read it this moment, but I'm gonna read it one of these days. I may text you 2 years from now and be like, I finally started it. But you know, that's why I don't tell people when I'm gonna start something, because I'm too much of a mood reader. But then next, this is also one that was on my 2023 list, and I don't even know why I didn't. I kept putting it on my TBR, but I think I just didn't want to start a series where like I knew I was going to want to pick up the next one, because everything I hear about this series, I just feel like it's going to be hard for me to like put down. And there was so many other series that I was in the middle of this year that I wanted to knock out before I just like completely dived into a new series. So that's my reasoning behind not starting it in 2023. But I am going to be starting it in 2024. It's the Addicted to You series. It's, as far as I know, I think it's a alcoholic. Yeah, it's an alcoholic and a sex addict. Basically they both have addictions, and they are, I guess, like, they're just supposed to help each other kind of come out of it. I am going to read it like intertwined with the Calloway Sisters series. So I do have like a little guide of like how, like, what order to read them in, if you do it that way, which I think it's also at the front of the book. Let's see. Yes, so it's Addicted to You, Ricochet, Addicted for Now, and then the first book in the Calloway Sisters is Kiss the Sky. So I will be reading it in that order versus doing like all the Addicted and then doing all the Calloway Sisters. I'm going to do them as one big series, which is, I think, is another reason why I kept putting it off, because I'm just like, I think it's like 10 books. It's a lot. I have Indigo Ridge by Devney Perry, and I have heard so many good things about the Eden series, and so I am like, Jasmine, you're finally going to start reading something by Devney Perry. I have a few of her books, and I don't know, I just have such high expectations. Like, I just know her writing's going to be good for some reason. Like, I just feel it. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to love Devney Perry. And so I'm just like, even though I've had her books, I'm like, yeah, she's a good author, and I haven't read anything by her, but here we are. We are finally going to dive into Devney Perry, and I'm excited. I have her Calamity Montana series also, which I think it actually is in the same town but just a different family. But I know this is like one of her most popular ones, and she actually just finished the last book, which is Sable Peak. So I'm like, okay, it's a completed series now, it's one of her popular ones, so let me try this one first. And then if I finish this one this year and I want to keep going, I'll probably start the Calamity Montana series. But starters, we're going to start with the Edens, and the first one is Indigo Ridge. So yeah, at least I think the first one is Indigo Ridge. It is. And then it's Juniper Hill. So yeah, I also have the prequel, which is Quincy. So, but I think I'm still going to start with this one first. We will see. Blueprints by Sophie Lark. And I have only read one other book by Sophie Lark, which I read, Minx, and it was good, but I don't know, it wasn't my favorite. And so I hear so many good things about the Brutal Birthright series. I know it's like dark mafia romance, I think. Is it mafia? It's something dark, and so I'm excited to read it. Also, the covers do not make it look like it's dark at all. But yeah, I love Sophie Lark. I love like just everything she stands for. And like I said, I did enjoy Minx. I knew it wasn't going to be like my favorite. Like, I knew going into it, it wasn't going to be like one of my top reads of the year, just because like the plot line wasn't my favorite. But yeah, I have high expectations for this one, because I hear so many good things about this series. Like, I think anyone who I know has read Sophie Lark, that's the series that they have read. So yeah, that's where we're at. The Summer I Turned Pretty, which if I remember correctly, I don't think I planned to read this last year or this year. I don't think so. I'm planning to read it in 2024. I also do want to like watch the show, and the fact that a new season had came out this year is what pushed me to like go ahead and put this on my list, because they're pretty short books, and I'm like, this would be the perfect like summer read. I don't know if another season is coming out, but if it does, I plan to finally like watch them all once I finish reading the trilogy. So that is one that I am excited to read. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of it, but I just realized I'm really not talking about much about what these books are about. I guess I'm a little bit, but yeah, I think it just says some summers are destined to be pretty. So it's like a coming of age kind of, I think. More, yeah, I feel like more of like a coming of age book. We'll see. But yeah, I want to start that trilogy this year. Mile High by Liz Tumford. And if you guys are not on like Bookstagram, you guys probably not seen this, but this book has been everywhere, especially with Caught Up just coming out. So you have Mile High, and then I think the other one, what's the second book? Right Move, yeah. So you have Mile High, Right Move, and then Caught Up, and I think they cover like different people, but this one is a hockey romance. At least I don't think they're all hockey romances, but I've been hearing really good things about it. I originally did want to read it last year, but like once I ordered the books, I just had so many other books I wanted to get to, but after seeing like all of the good reviews I've seen from Caught Up, I'm just like, okay, let me go ahead and start. And it's called the Wendy High series. But yeah, it's a pretty thick one. I didn't think it was gonna be this thick. I think they are on Kindle Unlimited also, but yeah, this is almost a 500-page book. So this better be good, because 500-page romance books are a lot. I mean, sometimes people do them well, and sometimes it's just like long for no reason. So one of my most anticipated ones, but I'm gonna start King of Wrath. So this is the Kings of Sin series by Anna Huang, and I am actually reading, it's actually right here, but I'm finally finishing Twisted Lies. And basically in Twisted Hate and Twisted Lies, you start to learn about characters in this series, and so I'm like, okay, this is my cue. Like once I finish this series, then I will go straight into the Kings series. I do have her other series, which is If Only I Met Her or something, like, I can't remember the title, but it's like one, it's not like connected to these two series at all, but they are on Kindle Unlimited. So eventually I'll hope to start those. But this series is gonna be my next like big Anna Huang series. So yeah, and I think so far there's only 3 books out, but there is a 4th book coming out. I think it's April. I think it comes out in April. So I am hoping to, you know, read those books. Next is another author that I have been wanting to read for so long, and I don't even have a reason as to why I have not yet, but it is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, and she also just released her new book, the oh gosh, what is the title of it? I just had it delivered. I don't remember the title, but it's purple. But yeah, so this is her Dreamland Billionaire series, and so this is like, if I remember correctly, yeah, I think it's like Disney kind of. Yes, theme parks, yeah. Okay, so it's like kind of revolve around like Disney princess vibes. So I'm super excited to read it. I've heard so many good things, and who doesn't love a billionaire romance? Like, literally one of the best. We love billionaire romances. They're just, nothing tops them. So yeah, that is my like goal, to dive into Lauren Asher. I want to start Lightlark by Alex Astor. And Nightbane just released this year also, but I've been hearing really good things about this book. Also, the cover is what intrigued me. First of all, like, look at that cover. That's just beautiful. Of course, Target had to ruin it with their sticker, so I'm gonna have to peel that off. Also, I just want to see, oh wow, I didn't even see that, but that's so freaking cute. But yeah, this what does it say? It says every 100 years the islands of Lightlark appears for only 100 days to host a deadly game where the rulers of 6 realms fight to break their curses and win unparalleled power. My camera just decided to stop. But it says each ruler has something to hide. Each curse is uniquely wicked. To break them and save themselves in their realms, one ruler will die. Okay, well, we got an adrenaline rush going on in this book. So yeah, I'm super excited. It's really not, it doesn't feel like, yeah, it's not even, it's barely 400 pages. So I'm excited. There's also like quotes or like, you know, reviews from other authors. So you have Chloe Gong, Mary Lou, Adam Severa, and Saba Tahir. So yeah, these are some pretty credible authors, and I'm super excited to start this series. I am giving in, and I am finally going to start it, but it is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. And guys, I have heard so many good things about this. I just hear that it's like everything you want in a fantasy, like the romance, the tension, like the adrenaline. Like, I just hear so much, and I haven't read the back of it, which I'm not going to. I'm gonna try to go in like blind, but it just says hunted and hunter destined for each other. So that's like, I have been trying not to read the back of this. I did get the signed version because I am like trying to dive into my like signed book cover edition era. You know, it's happening slowly. It's happening slowly. But yeah, I am super excited to start this. I have heard nothing but good things. I've not heard one single bad review about that book. So I am just like, you know, start it. Like, start it, Jasmine. The one I started this year, like my book that like I saw everywhere, was Divine Rivals. So Powerless is gonna be next year's like peer pressure book, I guess you can call it. I have Kingdom of the Villains by Ella Fields, and I saw this one, and I think I saw it on Bookstagram, and I think her Bookstagram name is Lost in Fantasy and Smut. I think that's what her name is. But she gives so many good fantasy recommendations, and some of them are like, a lot of them are not a part of series, which I love, because it takes, like, when you want to dive into a fantasy series, like, it's a lot of brain power. The first book is usually so much like world building, or either like the first book starts like adrenaline rush, and then the second book like kind of dies down because they have to get into the world building then. So it's just really nice when you can like have a fantasy standalone, because usually those tend to dive right in the story, and it's just like, it gives you that like that little ounce of dopamine that you need. So I am hoping that that is the case with Kingdom of the Villains. But it says fate is a bloodthirsty beast. And it says, I know exactly who he was, the unseelie prince, but I hadn't known just what he was. I've been fooled. The creature I formed a tentative friendship with in my family's dungeon was not gentle, intriguing prince I always thought him to be. He was a monster, a bloodthirsty beast, and I helped him escape my uncle's clutches. Okay. Marrying the monster who destroyed it. Okay. I'm like not reading the rest because I want to try to go in like semi-blind. But yeah, it's super short. It's only 300. Let's not try to ruin anything. 320 pages. And also she has, I just saw, she has a backlist as well. Yeah, she has like a lot of other books as well. So if I like this one, I'm definitely going to start reading more of her. Like I said, I am like full on for fantasy standalones, because as you guys see, we got a lot of series going on here. And so obviously, like, once I read the first one, I'm going to read the next one. So I already have a good chunk of series on my list. So I am like not trying to dive into more series. I need as many standalones as I can get, because yeah, these are going to be a lot. So I'm going to need standalones to like go in between these. Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. And I do know the duology or the sequel is coming out next year. But I do want to read Before I Let Go in 2024. I've heard so many good things about this one. I think it's also like an emotional roller coaster. But I've seen good reviews on the second book that came out, like people who've gotten arcs of it. So it just made me push this to the top of my list by Kennedy Ryan. The only other book I've read by her so far was The Long Shot. But guys, absolutely loved it. It was one of my top books of 2023. So I am ready to dive into like her other work, and I think this is like her most recent release, I think. So yeah, I am super excited. I saw this like when it first came out. I remember seeing this everywhere, and also I just love the cover. Like, look at that cover. That is freaking gorgeous. So yeah, I am super excited to dive into this, and I will let you guys know how it is. The Nanny by Lana Ferguson, and her other book, just The Fake Mate, just released. So I'm like, I want to read that one, but I really want to read The Nanny first. This one came out this year. I think it came out earlier this year or late last. No, yeah, it came out this year, right? I'm pretty sure it came out this year. But yeah, I hear it's pretty spicy, and I think I saw this where it says if Allie Hazelwood and Tessa Bailey had a spicy baby. And I freaking love both of those authors. So that is, I'm like, you know, one of like my little cheesy romances that I want to read is gonna be The Nanny. So that is the first one. We have 3 over here, but then I have Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I am ready to get into my Abby Jimenez era. I hear so many good things about her writing. I do know this is this book is a part of the Part of Your World series, or like world. So I don't know if I have to read Part of Your World first, but I do want to read it. So if I have to read that one first before I read Yours Truly, that's fine. But I definitely do want to read Yours Truly this year. Like, not this year, but 2024, which is next year. But yeah, I'm like, you have put off her writing so like long, and I'm like, Jasmine, I need you to get on your Zoom and start reading Abby Jimenez, because I literally hear so many good things. One of my book besties on Bookstagram, she like loves Abby Jimenez writing. So I'm just like, yeah, stop playing. But then last but certainly not least, because of course we're gonna read so many other books in 2024, but I have Checkmate by Allie Hazelwood. And guys, I love Allie's writing. Like, it's just something about her writing that just intrigues me. Like, the amount of times that I've listened to The Love Hypothesis like on audio is just like a comfort book now, is insane. But this was her most newest release, which this is a YA romance. And I'm not a chess girly, but I did buy a chess set earlier this year, so maybe this will put me in my chess era, and we will finally pull that chessboard down, because right now it's just collecting dust. So Allie, I hope you do more than just fill my heart with good writing. Hopefully you make me want to play chess. But yeah, we will see. I've heard so many good things. I know Haley read this and she absolutely loved it. So yeah, I don't really know what much is about, but I feel like it's gonna be people who play chess, hence Checkmate, you know. Maybe like they'll be like I think it says they're rivals. Yeah, it says rivals to lovers. So I wonder like if it's like they're part of a chess club or something, you know, something good. But I also have I have one, like, this one isn't really a part of it because I'm already at the 24 books, but I do have just one, like, what do you call it? What's the word when, like, an extra, when you have a, if I can get it out. I honestly don't know the word I'm looking for, but I can't even get the freaking book out. Wait, hold on, we're gonna get it out. Give me 1 second. So I want to read Carrie Soto Is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I haven't read anything by her in a hot little minute. I think the last book I read by her was One True Loves, I think was the last. No, I read Daisy Jones and the Six was the last one I read by her. So I've heard really good things about this one, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna finally read it. I don't know if she has anything new coming out soon. I haven't really seen anything like her announcing anything new, so we'll see. But I think this is her most recent release. Like, I think this released either 2023 or like early 2022 or late 2022 is when this book released. So I'm just like, okay, it's time to dive into more of Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing. I love her writing. It's not like I'm like obsessed with it, but I do think it's a very good palate cleanser of writing. But yeah, those are all the books I want to read for 2024. Let me know what your most anticipated read for 2024 is, and I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.